1,000 pounds. Sisters, Amy's kids growing up too fast as the mom drops first ever school photos. 1,000. Elb Sisters celebrity Amy Sladen has revealed cute images of Gage and Glenn in school in the same school dress. The youngsters appeared quite grown up, which is impressive. She always wanted to be a mother. Therefore, she was pushing Michael to undertake family planning. While he agreed to fulfill her longtime dream, she struggled with fertility issues. Amy was informed that she can't conceive unless she loses some weight. The news pushed her to undergo bariatric surgery and follow a proper diet. She was ecstatic when she became pregnant and later gave birth to Glenn. The two boys keep her busy because raising children is no joke. After the wedding to Brian, she has finally settled down. What do her kids look like? How old are they now? When did they start schooling? Gage and Glenn looked dapper in their mom's second wedding to Brian. The 1,000-pound sisters couple married this Halloween at Talbot Tavern in Kentucky. Her boys came into the spotlight for their outfits. TLC dropped official wedding pictures, and in one of those, the kids posed with their mom and stepdad. Gage wore a bow, and they were all dressed in black suits. Fans, however, pointed out a horrible error in Gage and Glenn's attire. Their suits have been mixed up by Amy or her stylist. One of them wore a short suit, while the other one received a long one. With that kind of mess, the boys seemed a little angry. They weren't comfortable because Gage's clothes appeared tight, and Glenn was wondering why the suit outstretched. Also, their pants were touching the grassy ground. Glenn and Gage just resurfaced on Amy's Instagram handle. The mom of two tweeted a couple of images of her growing up children. She captioned it happily, saying that it's their first ever school photos. The 1,000 pounds sisters celeb has enrolled them in a local Kentucky school. As a proud mom, she was in awe at the staff's initial captures of them. Amy warmly complimented the staff for bringing out the special moments of Gage and Glenn's first day at school so brilliantly. She then confirmed it's preschool for her sons for this year. Also, the reality star announced their respective age. Gage is 5, while Glenn is 3, which means they have only a 2-year age gap. Fans hurried to the comments section of Amy's recent post. Some people observed Gage and Glenn wearing the same shirt in the same size, asking how come they fit into them. Glenn was meant to feel tighter, but Gage's stature seemed appropriate despite his age. The mother benefits from this since she can now wear a single size till a specific age. Glenn and Gage appear to be roughly the same height as well. Amy claimed to have asked their doctor the same question after admirers questioned why the children had grown so quickly. She commented, "Same kids simply grow faster. This is typical for 2 boys or 2 girls with a small age difference," according to other admirers. Keep checking TV season spoilers for the most recent information on Amy's children. But Amy came into Tammy's room with her typical joy as the daylight peeked through the drapes of the Slayton sisters' Kentucky house. "Tammy, can you guess what day it is?" She held a huge notebook full with vibrant stickers as she asked. Tammy blinked drowsily. "I swear, if it's another diet planning day, I'm going back to bed," Amy chuckled. "No, young lady, today is the day to organize your trip. At last, we're preparing for our exciting journey to London." Tammy's eyes brightened at once. Both of them had always dreamed of London, with its enormous red phone booths, double-decker buses, and, of course, fish and chips. For the first time that morning, Tammy sat up straighter and was energized. Step 1, the chaos of packing starts. Amy laid their bags out on the ground. "We must pack wisely. Instead of 10 years, we will be there for 10 days. However, Tammy's baggage already contained 5 blankets, 3 bags of snacks, 6 sets of slippers. A massive plush unicorn called Marshmallow. Amy put her hands on her hips and stated, "You're not relocating to London on a permanent basis, Tammy." "That place is chilly," Tammy objected. "Emotional support is Marshmallow." With a sigh, Amy gave her the unicorn. Amy, however, prepared for emergencies, herself and her children. Maps, printed directions, and even a laminated list of the city's public facilities were all in her London Survival Kit folder. Step 2, the fear of passports disaster struck when it came time to review their paperwork. Amy went through her belongings. "I got mine, Gage's, Glenn's. But where's yours, Tammy?" Tammy froze. "Oh no." They flipped the home over. Beneath the couch, within cereal boxes, in between Tammy's sketchbooks. Even within a potato chip bag, Amy eventually discovered it hidden beneath Tammy's cosmetics bag. "Why is eyeliner on your passport, girl?" Amy shouted. Tammy admitted, "I was trying to see how I'd look in my photo." Amy laughed till she started crying, but she shook her head. Step 3. Acquiring knowledge of British slang. They watched British culture-related YouTube videos to get ready. Amy dramatically repeated the following phrases. "All right, buddy, do you want a drink?" Tammy gave a snort. "You sound like a pirate, Amy. It's not British." Next, Tammy tried, "Hey, governor." Amy's face was hidden. "Stop, Tammy. You will make us look foolish." Before long, the neighbors knocked to see how they were doing because they were both laughing so much. Step 4. The test drive for the wheelchair and walker. Amy requested that they test Tammy's mobility gadgets because she had to walk a lot in London. Tammy moved like she was in a race around the house in her electric wheelchair. "Tammy, go more slowly." "No, I'm getting ready for the streets of London," Tammy said as she almost ran into the refrigerator after drifting around a corner. Amy nearly toppled a garbage can when she attempted to push her new stroller for Glenn. It dawned on them both that the trip would be intriguing. Step 5. The last dinner. They had a family supper the evening before the flight. "Don't go falling in love with no British guys," their brother Chris joked. Tammy grinned. "Unless he's wealthy," Amy laughed, "or brings us tea for free." The family congratulated them, gave them hugs, and wished them a wonderful journey. Step 6. Prepared to take off. Their alarm went off at 5 in the morning the following day. Wearing a hoodie with a London theme, Tammy was already awake. Amy filled the van with snacks, bags, and, of course, Marshmallow the unicorn. Both sisters experienced the same emotion as they traveled to the airport: anxious excitement. Amy muttered, "I can't believe we're actually doing this." Tammy grinned as she peered out the window. "It's our first significant journey together in a very long time, and I'm prepared." They both felt unstoppable for the first time in months as two sisters ready to travel far beyond Kentucky. Tammy clutched Amy's hand as the plane surged into the sky. She smiled as she said, "London. We're coming here." But Amy Slayton was up earlier than normal. Her thoughts was already racing before the sun had even risen. The sisters' monthly weigh-in at Dr. Harold's clinic took place today, and it was an emotional, hopeful, and occasionally frightening day. She crept into the hallway and gave Tammy's room a quick glance. Tammy was also awake, sitting on the side of her bed and twirling a strand of hair nervously with her finger. "Are you prepared, sis?" Amy inquired quietly. Tammy let out a sigh, as prepared as possible. "All I want is for the scale to be kind to me today." Amy chuckled. "We're tougher, but the scale isn't ever nice, girl." Lydia, the sister's nurse, joined them and assisted Tammy in getting into the van. As they drove, their breath clouded the windows in the chilly early air. Amy reminded herself why she was traveling as she looked at photos of her boys. As she gazed out the window, Tammy reflected on all the challenging days, workouts, food battles, terrors, and moments when she wanted to give up but persisted. "We've come a long way, Tam," Amy remarked. "Yeah, but I want to go farther," Tammy answered. The fragrance of coffee and disinfectant filled the clinic foyer. Dr. Harold was grinning warmly and waiting for them. "Ladies, we've come a long way today. There's no pressure. We collaborate regardless of the outcome," he stated. Amy was the first to go. Her heart thumping, she stepped onto the scale. The figures blinked. 12 pounds less. Her eyes welled with tears. "I really did it. I did it." Dr. Harold gladly nodded. "This is constancy, Amy. I'm rather impressed." Tammy gave a sincere clap of joy. "My sister is that." It was Tammy's turn now. Amy took her hand. She stepped onto the heavy-duty scale with Lydia's assistance. There was silence in the room. The digits flickered, then came to a standstill. 18 pounds less. Tammy's jaw dropped. "No, you're not serious." Amy let out a cry. Tears welled up in Tammy's eyes. "I honestly didn't think I could." "Doctor," Harold gave a gentle smile. "You're demonstrating to yourself that change is achievable, Tammy. Your finest month to date is this one." Amy proposed an alternative to going out to eat. "Let's go to the park and celebrate by actually moving our bodies," Tammy concurred. The sisters strolled down a peaceful route in the park. Amy walked lightly. Even though Tammy's breathing was labored, she continued. They arrived at a bench by a tiny lake. Tammy said, "I never thought I'd be able to walk this far again." Amy touched Tammy's hand. "You're not by yourself. Every step of the way, we're working together." Tammy turned to face Amy as the sun started to set, illuminating the sky with shades of orange and purple. "One day, we'll reflect on today and see that it was the day we disproved the world." Amy gave a nod. "And demonstrated our correctness." With genuine optimism gleaming in their eyes, the sisters sat there, But Amy was sitting calmly with a cup of tea in the living room of the Slayton home in Dixon, Kentucky, when the daylight broke through the blinds. Her world had descended into worry, heartache, and weariness months prior. However, today seemed different, like the start of something fresh. After becoming overwhelmed by life's tumult, Amy Rose Slayton made the decision that she was ready to start a more profound healing process. Emotional healing in addition to physical recovery, Amy said to herself as she gazed in the mirror one clear morning. I'm worthy of better, and the finest version of me is what my boys deserve. She was reminded of everything she was battling for by the laughing of Gage and Glenn as they played in the background. She made the decision to see Dr. Hall, a therapist who specializes in assisting clients with challenging life changes. Amy was anxious during her first session. Warm hues and gentle lamps filled the calm space. Amy, what has brought you here today? Dr. Hall asked softly. Amy inhaled deeply. I'm sick of getting wounded. I'm sick of feeling inadequate. I want to get better. Really get better. With that admission, her journey really got underway. Tammy surprised everyone by becoming Amy's staunchest ally. Tammy's eyes were softer than normal when she rolled into the living room one afternoon. I know I make mistakes occasionally, but I'm here for you, sis. You got me through the worst of times. Now allow me to assist you. Amy's eyes began to well up with tears. She was surprised by Tammy's emotional candor, but the sisters' close embrace seemed to heal long-standing hurts. They came up with a plan together. Gentle walks every day, making healthier food, emotional check-ins every week, and above all, maintaining peace. Cooking was Amy's passion and a calming aspect of her recovery. She started preparing meals that made her feel good instead of indulging in emotional eating, such as colorful bowls, grilled vegetables, and fruit-filled smoothies for the boys. She even tried creating healthier versions of well-known dishes. Tammy got involved. They made a mess, quarreled about seasoning, laughed, and spilled drinks, but it was the bonding they much needed. The alteration was noticed by the family. The house gradually came back to life as Michael brought the boys around more frequently, and Chris and Amanda stopped by to see how she was doing. Amy kept a journal every night after the children had gone to sleep. A few of the entries were sentimental. I'm afraid I'll revert to my old behaviors. I miss the person I was before all the suffering. Some were optimistic. Today, I walked for 20 minutes without experiencing dyspnea. Tammy gave me a hug today. I was unaware that I required that. However, her penmanship steadied over time. Her mind was more clear. She felt happier. Amy stepped in front of the camera team for a new episode's filming after months of therapy, leading a healthy lifestyle and mending old ties. She was serene, self-assured, and radiant from the inside out. She remarked, I used to think healing meant fixing everything at once, but I now understand that daily self-choice is the key to healing. Standing next to her, Tammy wrapped her arm around her sister. Both of us have made significant progress, but we have more to go. With a greater relationship than before, the sisters grinned at one another. The whole family got together for a picnic in the park on a bright Saturday. Amy looked with pride as Gage and Glenn ran around joyfully. She felt genuinely free for the first time in a long time. Amy muttered to herself, "This is the path to my recovery, and I have only just begun." Amy found the serenity she had been longing for as her family laughed around her and the breeze caressed her face, but the news spread over Kentucky like a flash of lightning. Amy Slayton, star of the 1,000-Pound Sisters, was arrested for illegal substance possession. Everywhere the headline flashed, local TV networks, social media, and news. Neighbors gazed from their porches, fans were stunned, and critics murmured. However, her sister Tammy Slayton was the most distraught. At the treatment facility, Tammy sat in her living room with a shaky phone in her hand. Her voice cracked as she murmured, "Not my Amy." Not her. Since her divorce, parenting her two boys by herself and enduring constant pressure from internet criticism had turned Amy's life into a roller coaster. There were days when it seemed like she had the whole world on her shoulders. Overwhelmed and tired one night, Amy made a terrible mistake. It was sufficient to make an arrest when police discovered her sobbing in her car in a parking lot with a small package of illicit tablets that someone had given her to relax. The world went crazy when the mugshot was posted online. Amy believed that she had violated both the law and herself. Amy anticipated that Tammy would scream and might even refuse to visit her after she was freed on bond. Instead, Tammy showed there with a quiet resolve and her nurse. With the assistance of Amy's family, doctor, Eric, and even her therapist, she had set up an intervention. A circle of chairs greeted Amy as she entered her home. Tammy softly whispered, "Sit down, sis." Amy's eyes began to well up with tears. She was unable to even raise her head. Tammy was the first to speak. "You've always been the one with strength. When I didn't care about myself, you looked after me. You brought up two gorgeous guys. Now, though, you need assistance. Genuine assistance." Amy's respiration accelerated. Amanda was the next to speak. "We are aware of your pain, baby girl. You don't require medication. You require us." Chris then wiped his eyes in a manner he never wanted to be seen on camera. "You're not by yourself, but if you continue in this manner, you will be." Amy's chest constricted. She muttered, "I didn't intend for any of this to occur. All I wanted was for the suffering to end." Tammy extended a hand. "Let's take it with you." Amy turned to face her sister for the first time in weeks. She then gave a nod. Amy had the most difficult weeks of her life. She never thought she would require a wellness recovery clinic, so she checked herself in. She had counselors instead of cameras. She had group sessions instead of online haters. Rather than addiction, she learned breathing exercises, coping mechanisms, and how to start over. Tammy came to see her every day. On certain days, they chuckled. On certain days, they shed tears. On several days, they were able to communicate without using words by simply sitting in silence. Tammy informed her, "You can definitely fight for your life if I can fight for mine." Amy gradually started to recover emotionally as well as physically. 60 days later, E announced news. Amy Slayton's family speaks out. She leaves recovery stronger than ever. Amy didn't conceal herself. She didn't flee. She bravely and honestly shared her story while sitting in front of the camera. "I made a mistake," she said, "but I'm not defined by that error. Getting back up is what makes me who I am." It was strength, not controversy, that made the interview go viral. Amy gave her two sons a heartfelt hug when she got home. She whispered to them, "I'm here, and I won't be leaving." That night, she had 2 cups of sweet tea with Tammy on the porch. Tammy acknowledged, "You scared the hell out of me." Amy gave a quiet smile. "I was also afraid of myself." They gazed at the golden and warm orange sunset. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mina, and I hope you're having a great day. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the video.